going on, guys? Got some NIT games to break down today against the spread. Before we do that, I want everybody to look at the bottom of the screen, look at the record, look at the difference from today's video to the last video. It is absolutely taken a hit. Nothing crazy, not substantial. Absolutely had worse losing streaks than that in my life. That's why I always preach unit management and bankroll management. But the last 2 days are back-to-back losing days. The first time I've had back-to-back losing days, I think since maybe even early February. I'll double check on that and get back to you guys if you're even interested. The point is, I don't hide shit. I come on here when I lose. I hope you guys appreciate that. There's plenty of people on the internet where, they'll just wipe out the bottom of the screen, start with something fresh. Maybe I go 4-0 tomorrow, 3-0 the next day, and then I crush the Sweet 16, and I just start a new streak saying, hey, I'm 10-0 in 3 days. I'm not going to do that. I took a hit last couple of days. We went 1-4 on Sunday. We were on some underdogs. Every single favorite one, besides one, Clemson, the only upset and underdog pick in the entire round of 32 in the March Madness tournament. It's never happened before. History says that's almost impossible to happen. It happened. So all the public casual people who just don't pay attention to sports and they just see the big names in the media like, oh, UConn and Purdue and all these big household names and just put their money there. Those are the people that actually profited this last time. This coming round, the Sweet 16, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not saying the favorites won't win, but covering the spread is a different thing here as we start getting deeper in this tournament and the competition gets closer and closer and closer together. But only for some games. And if you see at the bottom of the screen, I have dropped already $1,000. Now, I've told you guys multiple times, my unit in the NFL sometimes gets up to 1,000. Sometimes I drop 1,000 per game in the NFL. You guys saw all the bet slips, all the huge wagers I made in the NFL last year. For basketball, a little bit more of a higher volume, more volatile sport, around $100. Sometimes I do $250, but lately my average wager has been $100. I've already put 1,000. I've already locked in $1,000 on a line. I do believe the price is going to get even better. I will have a huge breakdown for members on this specific game. Sometimes on the lower end, 1 unit, half unit plays, I just give you guys the line. On this play, I will give you guys a big fat chunk of analysis proving why the stars are aligning. I did the same thing last year. I hit a huge play for $3,100 last year in Sweet 16. If you guys have still hesitated to try my picks out, or maybe you tried it and then you stop your subscription for a little bit, get back on board. I just had back-to-back losing days. Sometimes I go on like a 9, 10, 15-day run where I win 25 out of 30 picks. And then people join because they buy it. I'm hot and it is what it is. And it's a great time to get involved. And then I have a losing day in the mix. They're always in the mix. You never, ever, ever in sports betting just win and win and win and win and win and win. There's always losing days mixed in. The whole point of it is to look back at, longer chunks, a full month, 2 months, and to just be up more units. Okay. That's what it's about. You stack your wins, even if they're small. You take your losing days when they happen. You win more than you lose, and you win long-term. That's what this is about. When you look at my long-term winning percentage, there has never been a better time to join than right now. I have my biggest play of the year, and I'm coming off of back-to-back losing days. The stars are aligning. I charge $30 for an entire week of my picks. If you want to pay for your subscription and then some in a single wager, this is the one. This is it. I am dropping a nuke on this play. I love it. I'm not going to say anything more. If you don't want this play, then I'll just talk to you in the recap video after Friday, and I'll actually show you the full bet slip and everything that went down. So yeah, let's get into these NIT games. TikTok link in the description, SoBet link in the description. You can check those out as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Drop a like on today's video for going over these boring, but not really, NIT games before we get into the real stuff. I don't know. A couple of these are really good. Man, I got an itch on my nose. That's so annoying. Weird. So weird, man. Feels like someone's got a feather in my nose or something. So tomorrow we got 2 games. Wednesday we got 2 games. Interesting. kind of getting down to the nitty gritty in the NIT. Game number 1, Georgia, Ohio State, 8.5-point spread. So in the NIT is a little different. Okay. As you start to get deeper into the big tournament, the competitiveness, the effort, the grit, the craziness, it gets turned up. Sometimes, not always, sometimes in the NIT, teams are just like kind of done. It's like, all right, they tried, but the travel, it's kind of the end of the year. It's the NIT. It's not that important. Sometimes you run into situations where a team still really is motivated and really wants to win it versus a team that's like, okay, I've played too much basketball this year. I think we might be getting that here with Georgia and Ohio State. Ohio State, obviously very motivated here. Public money is on Georgia for a reason. They're getting 8.5. 8.5 is a steep price. I just don't think these teams are that terribly close. This game isn't at Hinkle yet. Okay, it's not the Final Four, the NIT yet. I'm gonna lay the points with Ohio State here. I don't think going against favorites blindly anymore is the right idea, even in the NIT. I'm surprised Georgia has even made it this far. Sure, they're playing with house money and they're going to be playing nice and loose, but the talent gap here is pretty big, and I think 8.5. I don't love the price, but I think it's reasonable. I'll lay it with Ohio State. Cincinnati, Indiana State. I am absolutely going to take the 4 points with Cincinnati here. I'm going to buy the hook using the DraftKings sportsbook. I'll go ahead and buy the hook for this game. Get it up to a 4. You never know if it saves you. Motivationally, Indiana State will have the advantage. In terms of fans, the crowd, Indiana State will have the advantage. Cincinnati has too good of players, guys. They're bigs. They're just too physical. They played in the Big 12 all year. They're used to much better competition. There's always weird stuff going on in the transfer portal and coaching at these lower end schools. Cincinnati's a little bit more stable right now. They had a good year in the Big 12. I think they continue to build on it. These are the games I actually like Cincinnati. I don't like laying points with them. Sometimes their offense kind of falls off. I don't love Cincinnati laying a big number, but in what should be a pretty competitive game, this is where I actually like Cincinnati. You're going to give me like 3, 4, 5 points with a team. I'm going to take them. I'm going to take the points with Cincinnati here. I think a lot of people are going to be betting Indiana State. UNLV Seton Hall is a Wednesday game at 7:00 Eastern. It's a 3.5-point spread. And I think that's a great price. I mean, UNLV now is going to be traveling across the country to New Jersey twice in a row. I don't think they care at this point. UNLV is definitely overachieved. They're kind of like Georgia. I'm surprised they've made it this far in the NIT. I think the seniors and the older guys on Seton Hall want to actually win this tournament outright. Give me Seton Hall. I think it's a very reasonable price. I'm not going to like overthink it and think the line is like suspiciously short because the favorites are just dominating this year. I'm not going to shy away from it. You got to be able to adjust in this industry and kind of see what the recency, the recent trends and just kind of what's going on here. And I don't think there's any reason that Seton Hall can't beat UNLV in New Jersey at home by 3.5 points. I'm going to lay the points with Seton Hall. VCU and Utah. VCU, man, I just don't know if I can trust the offense here. So 6.5 points is the current spread. That's on FanDuel. I don't know if I can trust the offense for VCU. They got some good athletic guys. They can kind of scrap and scratch and claw. They can hang in there, but this is ultimately a home game for Utah. Power team. I mean, VCU, I still feel like they're a little bit deflated from blowing that last game in the regular season and not quite making the big dance. Utah, I don't know, man. They're kind of gelling right now. I think VCU is going to be a popular pick because the line does look kind of steep. And maybe this is very, very competitive and a tie game or something at half. Ultimately, in the end, I'm probably going to go with Utah here. Maybe we do need free throws at the end. 6.5 points. Man, I don't love laying 6.5 with Utah. And I do think if VCU keeps this game within 6.5, that they probably win the game outright. But I'm going to go with Utah here. I'm going to lay the points with Utah. And looking at the live odds right now to win the whole NIT, Ohio State's the favorite at plus 230. I'd be looking at Seton Hall or Cincy. I'd be looking at Seton Hall or Cincinnati. They're plus 550 and plus 600 respectively. I'd probably favor Seton Hall over Cincy. Cincy's offense sometimes shits the bed. Seton Hall, man, a senior team playing good. That's a good team. They should have been in the big tournament. This is a team that beat a lot of those good teams in the Big East. They're used to good competition, good squad, balanced. More than a 5x your money for Seton Hall to just win a few more games here. Yeah, I like Seton Hall. Maybe something to consider, guys. A little bonus pick. Seton Hall at 5.5 to 1 right now to win the whole tournament. I'm going to bet it right now. I'll put it on the screen too when I edit this video. What am I going to go with? How much? I'm just going to do half a unit. Little half a unit on Seton Hall at 5.5 to 1 to win the NIT. I think that's a great bet. So $50 on that. And yeah, look, guys, before I do exit this video, and please just give me 30 more seconds of your time. This is not a sales pitch. I always come on here and I try to help people and talk about unit management and bankroll management. I show my losses, I show my wins. I just try to educate people in this industry, because you watch all these commercials on TV and it's DraftKings and you just sign up with just $5 and you get 200 and this and that and same game parlays and player props, and the marketing that these companies are using is so evil and nasty, and it's eating a lot of people alive. I win consistently doing things the right way, and I have had 2 rough days. This is rare. Maybe it happens once a month. This play coming up that I have for Friday is no joke. The biggest play I've even had in basketball all year is only 3 units, and I already have 10 on this. For $30 to know what I'm going to drop this much money on, I really do think it's a good opportunity for you guys to make some money. And I'm just going to continue to educate you guys along the way. Whether you're interested or not, that's up to you. I hope you don't miss this opportunity. This is the one I've been waiting for. With the good comes the bad, and the bad was losing some wagers, but certain teams made it through and certain teams are meeting, and it creates a new opportunity that you can hit really, really hard. When you just have so many categories of a handicap all come together. It's just a great thing. There's always an opportunity for star players to break their leg in the first minute of the game, and then you could be in trouble. Maybe the coach that gets in a car accident, the night before, and they don't have their starting coach after you locked your bet in. There's always some little X factors. It's sports betting at the end of the day. Nothing is guaranteed. That's why unit and bankroll management is so key. This is the spot, and I'm going to hit it. I'm going to hit it hard. See you guys in the next video. Oh, speaking of the next video tomorrow morning will be the Sweet 16 video. Be going over every single game in the Sweet 16. That video will be out at 6 a.m. Wednesday morning Eastern time. Don't miss that one. See you then.